G'day everybody and welcome to episode 4 of Caught in the Gully. My name's Dane Howe, that's Scott McKenzie and this is Scott Vozzo, and the man behind the screen doing all the fancy stuff that makes us look so good and all them unbelievable graphics and whatnot is our fourth leg Kyle Pover. So thanks to you Pove, sensational behind the scenes there. We are proudly brought to you by Eastwood Golf Club down there on Liverpool Road, Kilsyth. Get down there, have a crack at the local track. It's it's in tremendous condition from all reports. Go down, have a feed. They even have some barefoot bowls down there, so get down and play some barefoot bowls. Also PJD Building, Peter Dalton. Fantastic little builder. As I said last week, he will get you from a vacant block of land to your front door key. He has all the trades. He does renovations, he does demolitions, he does a lot. Peter Dalton is your man for anything that is building. Upali's restaurant, David Cruz, down there on Blackburn Road in Glen Waverley. Fantastic little Sri Lankan restaurant, and if Sri Lankan's not your cuisine, don't forget that he has the 12th man bar attached to it with all your local pub favourites. As I said, the Palmers, the fish and chips, the hamburgers. It's a nice little sports bar down there with some great memorabilia that you can have a look at. So thank you very much to David Cruz and to Race with Mates, Josh Henry. He's having a bad trot, boys. Oh, Joshy.
Not going well.
No, well, let's hope Joshy bounces back, boys.
He will bounce back, don't worry, but he's costing me about 30 or 40 a week too, because I'm following that multi that he does for the clubs. Joshy, as we know, that he's giving you a leg into horse syndication and horse ownership. One of the boys from the cricket club and the football club here, Daniel Waters, has just bought himself a nice little, I think it might be a colt or a fill, I'm not sure which one it is, but he's just invested, and Joshy's looked after Daniel Waters and his mates that have hooked up a syndicate, and he's done the right thing by them. So if that's your go as well, horse racing, get in touch with Joshy straight away. But he'll be brought up a little bit later in another segment, I believe. So just hang on to your hat for that, Joshy. Also, I just want to make mention of a company called Red Onion, which Kyle Pover is associated with. Red Onion now are going to go around and film 3 games a week. The footage will be available on our page, Caught in the Gully. It'll be also available on the Furniture Gully Facebook page, competition page. And what they're going to do, boys, they're going to set up their own little website, which you can link into via our page or via the competition page. And they're going to do some fantastic things. So Kyle Pover's really stepping up. He's stepping in. He wants to get involved with a cricket competition and what they do. You can see what they do to our show. So just hang on to your hats for that. It'll be up and about well by next week. They were around filming 3 games this week, so really good things from Red Onion and Kyle Pover as well. So keep your eye out for that. Weekend games, boys. There's been some. Well, I'm not sure. There's upsets. Your mob's cruising. Your mob's looming. Any surprises for you over the weekend, boys?
No, not for me. The thing is, I don't think there are any dominant teams on the weekend. There was no really sort of convincing wins on the
close
weekend.
Games,
so
wasn't
yeah.
it?
So and you notice later on down when I talk about the local lower grade heroes, there weren't as many dominant scores either. So yeah, I think it's starting to sort of take shape a bit more now. Teams know where they're at, and yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the year from here.
A couple of teams need to get going, Scotty.
They do. I think the only one from this week, and I think how you and I tipped Monbolg to beat Eildon Park, down in Eildon Park.
Yep.
That's the only one I think that went the other way, and we'll get into it obviously later on, but Eildon Park had to fight back, probably staring down the barrel. They've had to fight back, and they've actually done a great job to get over the line, so they're on the board now.
Yes, and as I say, these guys next to me here, they're just cementing themselves as them premiership favourites. They're just doing what they have to do, and you know, resting bowlers last week, and just, you know.
Nice
Am I right in saying that they've actually leapfrogged your boys to go on top of the
Yeah, they're
ladder
on
as
top.
well,
They're on top. Where they belong. Where they belong.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Yeah, righto, boys. We'll get in straight away. Get into our votes for Norm Reeve Shields for the Eastwood Golf game of 2 with a cart and a couple of beers. Also, it's as we've spoken about in recent weeks, it's a 3-2-1 system that the 3 of us vote on competition wide. It is just purely based on what we think, and the award goes to the person with the most votes. It's pretty simple. So, Scotty, over to you for your 3-2-1.
Yeah, my 3-2-1. I may sound biased here, but I'll give my explanation as to why. But my 1 vote went to Clint Buckland for his 101 not out. I know it's only one vote, but
From a batsman too.
for a batsman, yes. 2 votes to Jacob Evans from Eildon Park for 5 for 26. And my 3 votes went to Jake Sheriff from the Basin with 5 for 16. Now my theory is that these bowlers have only got 8 overs. So to get 5 wickets is a massive effort. If you make 100, you've probably got 40 overs, so to speak, to make 100. And we said at the start of the year it's probably more of a batter's game, this one-day game.
Yep.
So I think that for the bowlers to get 5 for, we always say at the start of the year, probably 5 or 6 wickets is equivalent to 100. So I think it's harder for the bowlers this year, and me being a batsman, it's hard for me to say, but I'm on the bowler's side with my votes tonight.
So unlike you to jump ship, Scott.
And I really love it, Scott. That's great. So you're on board with us big boys, mate. That's fantastic.
My votes, I give 3 to Clint Buckland. That 101 not out, fantastic effort. New player to the club. He had to make a stand pretty quickly, and he has, and he's a super talent. So well done to you, Bucko. My 2 votes goes to the chef, Jake Sheriff, 5 for 16, as Scotty touched on, super effort, mate. And the 1 vote to Jacob Evans for his 5 for. That's how I seen it.
And over to me, 3 obviously to Bucko. Congratulations, Bucko. 101 not out. He's opened the batting. He's lost 2 partners early and involved in a 174-run partnership. So it's a fantastic effort. What the boys probably don't know is Bucko obviously batting, I think, at 4 in the first 2 games. Hasn't. I think he made 20 in the first, only 4 in round 2. He's actually gone to Joshy and said, mate, put me in. I want to open the batting after 2 under par performances for a bloke of Bucko's ability. He's actually put his hand up to open the batting. He's gone out to open the batting, and then that's what he's produced.
Good player. He's a good player.
So, fantastic. He's and obviously he's a mate. He's been a mate for a long time with a lot of the boys. He's just slotted straight in.
He would have been in bed at 7:30, Scotty.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Again, Sunday morning.
He's a good boy, but Bucko, what a way to bounce back. Like I said on our little social media post, what a way to bounce back, mate. And all credit for you, bud. My 2 actually went to Jacob Evans from Eildon Park. He's 5 for 26 off 8. He came on to bowl. It was either 23rd or 25th over when Mumbolk were 2 for 87, only chasing down 151, and he's turned the game and got his side over the line, boys. So apparently it's 100% due to the way he bowled his left arm orthodox spinners. He's turned the game, and Eildon Park zipping 2, hadn't won a game yet, and all of a sudden, purely I think on the on what Jake Evans has done, as they've got themselves on the board with their first win. So credit to you. 1 vote, Jake Sheriff, obviously 5 for 16, first 5 wickets of the game, if I'm not mistaken, Voz.
Yep.
And I noticed he's also been involved in a run out as well. So it's a fantastic day, but purely I think because Evans actually won inside the game, staring down the barrel of defeat. That's why he's got the 2 for me.
There you go. That's why it's good that we all got our own little say of that. But having said that, Clint Buckland, you're off to Eastwood Golf Course, my man. Take another mate of yours. I've actually been promised from Jules Whetstone that he's going to take me, so maybe Bucko might take Scotty, and we might just make a little day of it. So
always happy to have a hit. No, actually, a bit of 2 versus 2.
Yeah,
Upway versus Knoxville. We'll always accept that challenge. Don't worry about it.
I'm not sure how we'll be by about the 15th hole, but we'll see how that cracks. So well done, Bucko. Good on you, mate. We'll get that out to you as soon as we possibly can.
It's actually funny you say that because Chef, after his 5 said, when are we playing golf?
Chef.
I tried Chef, but these blokes don't know what they're talking about, mate. So,
Over to the Decoit. The Decoit player of the round gets the $50 Upali voucher from David Cruz. Scotty, kick us off.
Yeah, my 3 votes, my 1 vote went to Mitchy Goddard from Mountain Gate for 53 and 1 for 24. He's a guy that could certainly play in the top grade and do it pretty easily, Mitchy. But my 2 votes went to Ollie De Silva after we tried to pronounce his name.
Ollie, we got it right this week.
After round 1, he said, call me Ollie. So Ollie, I gave him 2 votes for 50 not out and 1 for 32. But my 3 votes went to Michael Hyatt from Alinda, the wicketkeeper, making 40 and taking 2 catches and 3 stumpings. So 5 dismissals and 40 runs is clearly man of the match for me. So well done to Michael Hyatt from Alinda.
There's a bit of a quiet round in Decoit, result-wise there for individuals, but I've gone exactly the same. Michael Hyatt 3, Ollie gets 2, and Mitchy Goddard gets a 1 for me.
I've actually given Ollie, our mate Ollie De Silva, the 3 votes, 50 not out, 1 for 32 of his 8 overs. The not out certainly helped with that. And I think even the fact that he's commented on our Facebook page, boys, he's given us a little bit of love, told us that, guys, don't even try and pronounce my name, just call me Ollie. He's made it a bit easier for us. That certainly has probably helped get him over the line with the 3, so good on you, Ollie, appreciate it, bud. Number 2, Michael Hyatt, like the other boys said, 40 runs, 3 stubbies and 2 catches. That's obviously a fantastic day with the bat and behind the stumps with the gloves. And Mitchy Goddard, he's a little legend, Mitch, 53 and 1 for 24. He's doing absolutely everything he can at the moment, boys, to try and help his side. They're not travelling as well as probably we predicted and probably as well as what they would like. So, Mitchy, credit to you, mate. There's 1 vote slotted in there for yourself too, bud.
Michael Hyatt, the Upali voucher winner. Well done, mate. We'll, as I said, I've got the vouchers now, so it's my job to get out to the grounds, get out to the clubs, and we haven't forgotten the first couple of rounds either. So I'll make sure that them vouchers get delivered very, very promptly. Righto, boys. Before we get into segment 1, I want to give a shout out. I was playing a bit of veterans cricket yesterday with an old sparring partner of mine, Jason Simmons, the president of Monbulk, and he made it aware to me that a favourite of all of us, and we were tragically got the news it must have been 12 months ago roughly now, that Bluey Fraser, Christian Fraser, he was struck down with that insidious disease, cancer, and it was a pretty bad one. It was one that Monbulk Cricket Club and the community and everyone else around him, someone like these wristbands that you see a lot of us still wearing, to go to Boston to get some urgently needed treatment. It's available here in Australia, but he would have had to sell the farm if he was to get the treatment in Australia. So Bluey made his way over to Boston. Just a tragic time for the family, all involved, and Simo was telling me yesterday that Bluey boys actually got up and played his first game of cricket last weekend. So it was he's back, he's around the club again, and he's back playing cricket. So to you, Bluey, super effort, mate, from the boys here in Court in the Gully and every single person that's involved in Ferntree Gully District Cricket Association. Super, mate. We are so proud, so happy. It's an enormous effort, mate. Onwards and upwards for you. It's just fantastic news. So congratulations, mate, on making it back onto the cricket field and just getting on with life. It's a super achievement.
Well done, Bluey. Good work.
Yeah, well done, Blue. Unbelievable, mate. And all the best from here on in with everything health-wise and cricket-wise, mate. Hope you have some success, mate.
Well done to all the clubs too, who really helped out with trying to support it financially for them. And he's obviously got 2 young kids and and all that sort of stuff. So well done to all the association and all the clubs around. And that's what you'd hope that the clubs would do, selling the wristbands and all that sort of stuff. So well done to them, and all good for the future.
Simo did say that. Simo said that the Monbulk were just overwhelmed with the support that not only the opposition cricket clubs gave, but just the local community. I think, without dropping the figures, but it's in the vicinity of $250,000 it cost them to get over there. And the cricket club himself, Monbulk, I think Simo was saying they raised nearly $100,000 or something. Look, I might be wrong, but it's in that area. And as I said, if he was to get the treatment in Australia, we would have had to sell the farm. It was over $500,000 for that treatment. So anything that we can do to help our mates out, and we might compete on the field, but when it comes to stuff like that, that's what we're here for. So
it's one thing that's actually wonderful about our comp is the sense of mateship, obviously brotherhood when you play with blokes, but the sense of mateship between clubs as well. And you notice it so much after a game, we're having beers with the boys. You play against a lot of these guys for a long, long time, and it is a genuine sense of mateship, and that's one reason why I enjoyed playing in our comp for so long. Yeah. Who knows, that might be the reason I'll come back and sneak a game in or 2 later in the year. We'll see what happens.
Very good. Look forward to that, big sexy in the 2s, maybe.
We'll see.
Come to aeroplane to me again.
Watch your space.
Okay, boys. Well, I'll get off to our first segment. Voz's rolling team of the year.
I've wielded the axe, to be fair.
Crazy.
I've made quite a few changes. I think 7 in total. It's pretty clear: perform or get out, and that's basically the way it is. You have one bad week, you snooze, you lose. You out you go, and someone else will be willing to take your spot. So my outs for this week: Jules Whetstone, Justin Creed, Jaden Tisinovic, Jake Arundel, Jay Colley, Craig Brockhoff, and Lockie Dobson. My ins, Nathan Walsh from Listerfield, Jackson Waters from Upway, Cam Wheeler from Upway,
Be happy with that, Cameron.
Jacob Evans from Eildon Park, Jaden Bradbury from Ferntree Gully,
Princess.
comes in as the keeper, Mitch Lay, one of my faves from Johnson Park. You
One of mine too.
Yeah, oh, he is
One of
now.
mine
Isn't he?
too.
You didn't know who he was a year ago. And Tim Chivers from Listerfield. Now, I'm pretty sure Timmy's been around for quite a while, so well done to them. So I'll read the side out. Blake Walter, Nathan Walsh, Jake Sheriff, Jackson Waters, Jason Fraser, Jake Belfour, Jaden Bradbury, Jacob Evans now comes in as the number one spinner, Tim Shivers, Duncan Marr and Mitch Lay, and my 12th man is Cam Wheeler, who outside of Jake Sheriff is the best performing all-rounder in my opinion. So he's thereabouts, but he's not quite there just yet, Cam Wheeler. But pretty strong side there.
So this is one that I want to just take you to task on, Scotty.
Feel free.
Like Saturday night, Cam Wheeler is a little bit discussed. You know, what does he have to do to get into the team? And I said, look, you can't be far away, surely. And so you've got him in at 12th man.
Yep.
Is there any reason he's on? Is this purely a stats base? Is anyone can just roll out my cricket and just put him in as stats?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So what has Nathan Walsh done to be in front of Cameron Wheeler?
He's made more runs than him.
He's made 5 more runs than him.
That's all it takes.
Cameron's
And
taken.
he needs one.
Cameron's taken 6 more wickets than him.
But he's in the side as a
But
bat.
he's
Whilst
in
he
the side as a
could
bat, yeah.
Well, why can't Cameron bat at 3 and still bowl?
He's not an all-rounder. There's only room for one, and that's Jake Sheriff.
Who says there's
And
only
he's from the base.
there's only room for one?
Me. That's my rules. Cam Wheeler is overrated.
Jeez. Oh,
Yes,
there's
more
one
about
for
that.
you.
No, I'm only joking. But look, he's thereabouts, mate, and that's what it's
How
about.
can you be
dangling the
thereabouts
carrot.
if you're only 5 runs off a bloke that's batting 3? Cam bats 4 and he's taken 6 more wickets than him.
So if you make 96, is that 100?
Well, it's late on Saturday night, it is.
Yeah, fair enough. It's not 100. So
And I think this is just
got to
with
get
the
in front of him.
This is with the Upway stuff. I reckon Sticks is a bit stiff.
Yeah, but there's also an age clause in there. You got to be under 80. You got to be under the age of 80.
What I love
You've got to
about
take
this-
wickets, mate. How many has he taken? He's not in the top 5 bowlers.
He's
wicket-wise.
taken 2 less than Evans. Do we need a
So
spinner?
2 levels.
Do we need a spinner? He's
Yes, no, Evans is
He's
spinner.
made more around about the same runs as him as well.
No, it's not. It's not. If you're a bowler, you're a bowler. You can't pick and choose. Oh, actually, I'm a batter this week. I made 30. Well, bad luck, mate. You're in there as a bowler.
I love the firm debate, boys, after round 3, and also love the fact that the Cams actually brought this up.
Saturday night, he was
with
filming on
Howie.
Saturday night.
And that's,
You know,
that's how much it means to these boys to get in the team. He's actually, well, it sounds like he's dropped his bottom lip a little bit.
I actually like that because that means it's going to be so much harder for him to get in. That's brilliant.
And no disrespect to you, Skipper Walsh, Country Week Skipper. I'm just throwing it out there, mate. It's just, you wanna
Walshy,
start
make
doing
sure you
this.
put upweight every part of the ground, mate. You well and truly deserve to be.
I don't know. I haven't looked yet, boys, who's playing Listerfield this week. But you can thank Howie when
Yeah.
Walshy comes out and smacks 100 this week. You can thank Howie for that.
Just
No,
don't
it's
mention
not
Fraser
upweight.
and we'll be right because we've got Mombok this week, so don't say anything about Jason Fraser being there.
Righto, mate. Your Decoit Team of the Year.
Decoit, yeah, it wasn't as brutal this week, purely because, as I said, there weren't many high scores or no one really sort of dominated. So 1 out and 1 in, 2 Mountain Gate boys actually, Croxford out and Mitchy Goddard in. So my side is Jake Saley from St John's, Cole Chandler from St John's, Daniel Cormack South Belgrave, Monto Pereira Roval, Mitchy Goddard Mountain Gate, Alex Ferguson St John's, Michael Hyatt, Olinda, Drew Withers from Knox Gardens, Andrew Wilson, St John's, Ollie De Silva, South Belgrave, and Harley McDermott's from South Belgrave. And my 12th man, who's just almost there, is young Joshy Langer from Olinda. So he's not far away, the old Jay Langer, opening batsman.
There you go.
He's not far away, so he's still there, young kid, and I'm happy to keep him as my 12th man.
So Goddard just sneaks in on the back of his 50. Is that right?
Yeah, he's made more runs now than a few of them. So yes.
What was he? Has he done a whole lot more before that?
No. Just pull the ball.
Well, that's a thing. I mean, if you just get a 50 and just slots you straight in the side,
No, that's right. No, you've got to. Well, it's statistics based, which I set up.
anyone can do that, Scotty. Just roll out my cricket and pick your team.
That's right.
Well done, Scott. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Okay, segment number 2 is Race with Mates. Yes, with mates, we've had a couple of real bad performances from our man Josh Henry. He might have spent all his tickets over the Spring Carnival, boys. I'm not sure, but I'm telling you, I'm not jumping off him, and neither should you. Neither should anybody, because he will bounce back. He's got the ability. We all know that. What you need to do, lads, is like his page. Go there on a Friday. See if your club is the selected club for Joshy's multi. He puts $20 on. You then need to comment under his selections, and if it's lucky enough to get up, and I'd like to be the club coming up this week, if not next week, because he will not keep failing. There's no way.
He's due. He's certainly due.
Absolutely due. One thing I will add in there, Joshy, is I think we pumped you up the rounds one or the first 2 weeks of the show. Really gave you a good blow up. I think last week was a bad day for betting. It was just, I think, a lot of roughies got up.
We can't keep making that excuse.
But what I don't want to do is give you a smack, mate. That's what I'm trying to avoid. So, mate, a couple more weeks of this and you might find yourself right in line, mate. So just what I'm saying is, pull your finger out, mate, and lift.
Can you actually smack one of your sponsors? Or?
No, well, I'll tell you, we might have to, because it's costing me money as well.
I'll give him a big kiss and shout and a couple of beers afterwards, don't worry.
So, and handles Hail Mary failed as well, by the way. So, to them two, get going, for God's sake, please.
Come on, handles.
Segment number 3, straight into it. This is the one. Now, tell me, this is gaining some fair income leagues. I think there's some blokes, in particular my club, they've made themselves a little smackhead group. They call themselves the Smackheads. Don't be surprised if you see some t-shirts or some hats or some stubby arters rolling out, because this segment is absolutely taken off. It's called Smack Swack.
Thank you. Now, I'm actually rapt to also say we found ourselves a sponsor for Smack Swack this week, boys. So,
and why not?
And obviously it was growing traction out there. And young Benny Gerloff, who was my premiership wicketkeeper, he won 3 flags actually, their consecutive premierships there at Knoxfield only a couple of years ago. Benny Gerloff, he's obviously down at Templeton now, applying his craft down there. But Smooth sent me a little message saying himself and his brother Scott, they've got a little side business. It's a side business at the moment to their current employment, but it's called Aloft Roofing. Aloft Roofing, it's all aspects of roof plumbing. They're at the moment, I think, more focused on smaller type projects. So they do some homes, and I'm sure if they get a home, they'll run with it. But you know, garages, pergolas, fascias, gutters, that sort of stuff. If you want to check it out, check out their Instagram page, Aloft Roofing, ALOFT Roofing. Jump on Instagram, give them a DM on Instagram, or you can give Ben a call on 0416 607 752. And Little Smooth and Scott, his brother, will fix you up, guys.
Thanks,
no
boys.
at all.
Good on you. Appreciate your support.
All right, guys, let's jump into this. Now, this week I've decided, I think it's to run with three clips.
Likes his clips, don't he? Likes to start with a clip.
Absolutely.
3 clips, only,
one misses out.
a couple of things grinded my gears a little bit during the week, and it certainly didn't infuriate.
Today, Junior.
He's got him again.
Make me angry. The first one, now listen, the first one is to the Belgrade Cricket Club, actually, and in particular their first 11. I've had a chat to a couple of my boys from Knoxfield, and apparently there was a bit of an issue with, and when the Knoxfield boys were batting, and obviously they batted really well, we'll get into that, but with some lost balls. And I think they went to grab a couple of air balls. The balls weren't suitable for the time of game it was. So Knoxfield have had to tip in, I think in the end it might have been 4 or 5 of Knoxfield's balls. Of all frigging grounds out there in the comp, Belgrave is surely the Belgrave side are going to have some spare balls.
A box of balls.
I've played them numerous times, and I don't know if there's been a game that there hasn't been a ball lost, and it's a pain in the backside. You go down the hill, you try and find it. There's blackberries down there. You come up with all like prongs in there. It's horrible.
If they're serious, Scotty, they put some reasonable ones just in a little box somewhere where they know, and they don't worry about the old one. They just surely.
Mate, I was even thinking, you know what? Go down to Saxon Sports, buy some. You train out in the middle. All right, this isn't hard to work out, guys. You let someone bowl 130 balls. There's 5 over ball. Then they bowl one for 6. Then another one 60 ball. There's a 10 over old ball. Guys, you play Belgrave. Surely there's a spare box of balls. Do you know the worst thing is? Training for the Knoxville boys, first training session of the week, they're going to have to cancel because they've got no freaking balls left. They're out of balls. Absolutely out of balls, and they're not cheap to buy. What I might do is see if Click can put up the BSB account number for Knoxville on this page, and Belgrade, if you don't mind, just donate a little bit, $100 or whatever, back to Knoxville for all the balls that you borrowed and freaking lost.
That's only a clip.
That's the first one. Guys, like I said, if any other club is probably a little bit, we're not going to lose balls like that to start off with, but surely Belgrave know, have a few spares and decent spares there to use. So number one out the way. Number two actually goes to one of your boys, Voz. Jake Sheriff, Chef, he's a ripper bloke. He actually appeared on another cricket show which runs live on Facebook, I believe. I don't know too much about the show myself, never watched it. But Chef, I think with good intentions, I think with good intentions, he's tried to give our little Facebook show a plug, and he's actually got the name wrong. Right. Now, I'm sure it comes up in the intro. Everyone knows our show is called Court in the Gully, and there's a little bit to that. Court, part of cricket, Fairtree Gully, fielding position, gully. It's well thought of, and the great man here actually thought of the name. He thought, let's roll with it. He's called it Up in the Gully. Up in the Gully. Are you kidding me? Chef, if you're going to give our show a friggin' plug, at least get the name right, mate. I was sitting there, I only put on for that little segment. Someone told me, watch the little video at about whatever minute mark it was. And I thought, good intentions, but get it right, young fella.
Have a look at this. Where do I find it?
I think it's Icon Sports, and it's around the 18-minute mark. If you don't want to watch the whole show, because it probably goes like ours about an hour, just flick about the 18-minute mark and watch Chef firstly get that wrong. The other thing, a little clip for with Chef as well, is that maybe he tried to stir the pot a little bit on there, because he's mentioned something about we think our show is the best in the East. Now, unless I'm mistaken, we've never mentioned that, have we, boys?
No.
Not publicly anyway. Once this camera goes off, we might give ourselves a bit of a lift.
It is.
We know we are.
It is,
but we've never said it publicly. And whether he's trying to stir the pot, so again, Chef, mate, we are the best show in the East. Don't worry about that. But again, we never said it publicly, so I think he was trying to just get the other boys fired up. And I don't think it worked too much. I think he got on about it too much. But Chef, at least
get it right.
So that's it.
Just on that, if a player from your club is going to a show like that, would you think they'd wear your club polo?
Oh, at bare minimum.
He was wearing his work polo because he told work he was going to be on there. And he's sitting next to someone who looks like he's going to the beach. Do not worry, mate, because our club will be fining Sheriff half his match fees. So that's probably $3,000.
I was going to say, it's
That's
a
gonna hurt.
big night at the basin.
That's going to hurt the pocket.
But
Absolutely.
he will be severely punished financially for this
Fair enough, Joe.
huge error in judgment.
Well, thanks for that, Voz, and I really appreciate you jumping in with your own little clip there. That's fantastic. Now, the final one, and this really does grind
Is this
my
a smack or
gears.
still another clip?
This is like a more serious clip, I'd say. It's not an actual. Well, no, let's call it a smack because it does grind my gears. We're trying to run a show here. Joshy Rickard, one of our sponsors, or lets us use his material to get scorecards up on our page, all that sort of stuff. It's very hard to do when clubs don't put their friggin' My Cricket scores in by the end of the weekend. I'm not going to go in and specifically name the clubs. I reckon they know who they are. But there's a few there. I mean, we like to have some printed material when we do the show. It helps us bring you the right scores for our show. You guys can see it, read it, hear about it. It makes it very, very hard to do when there's no freaking scores now.
Name them, Bob. Name them.
There is no. Now I know South Belgrade's won. There's 100%. And this week I think Knox Gardens might have scraped in late about 11 o'clock Sunday night or something. Now, as if we're going to stay awake until 11 o'clock Sunday night. It's not that hard. Firstly, I think, and listen, I understand that some clubs may not have either the ability or the scorer with the ability to run live scores on My Cricket. I think the vast majority do it, and it's absolutely wonderful. Someone like myself who's currently not playing, I can be not at a particular game or doing this show. I can actually jump on while the game's going. I can get some live scores, see how my boys are going, see how other grades are going. Now we're doing a show. I need to be all over with the cop.
2020, Scotty.
It's 2020. We're not living back in 1986 or something, guys. So for clubs out there that aren't getting their scores in by the end of the weekend, just fix it. Because I know it doesn't just grind my gears. I reckon there'd be 70, 80, 90% of the comp would think exactly the same thing. So from here on in, guys, I want you to fix it. Make sure if you can't run live, I think that's excusable. I don't expect that. But what I do, get it in by 6 o'clock Sunday night. I'm not sure if the comp has a rule about what time you have to get in.
Well, I think there's a fine system in
But
place.
plugger, if you're out there listening to this and watching this, mate, if you can please introduce an absolute rule that My Cricket has to be updated by 6 p.m. Sunday night at the absolute latest. Otherwise, you cop a fine.
No
It should be
problem
for
with
every grade. I mean, I know that last week after our mentioning of the local heroes, there was blokes going, oh, obviously your 80 wasn't good enough, but it wasn't in My Cricket. So listen up, dopies. Put your scores in and we'll mention it. No problems.
Absolutely. And just quickly before we finish this segment, boys, Ben Casey obviously copped it last week in Smack's Whack.
Don't tell me.
Got a message he's apparently come out, and I don't have the specifics, but I believe he's come out and had a great performance in the twos. And so, listen, if I can help blokes getting a whack, actually come out and perform the week after, well, it's my pleasure. So, Ben, my pleasure, mate. You took it very well, commented, saying he deserves everything he gets. Yep. So, my pleasure, bud. And I'm glad you didn't forget the match ball this week, mate, too.
Good work, Case. Well done. Good, Scotty. Like it again. You're on fire here.
That was good.
No wonder there's getting a little bit of a fan club and a supporter base getting behind the Smacks Whack. So, well done, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, lads, we'll head on to segment 4 on a pair.
Another one, guys, that
Growing
I
legs as
believe it's growing legs, and guys probably don't like it too much, especially the batsmen out there. But guess what? It's all about putting a bit of pressure on you blokes. Being a bowler, like I've said, it's about putting pressure on you blokes. It's a batsman's game. It's about time that the bowlers and the blokes in the field get something back. So, listen, I've really enjoyed bringing it to you, and in saying bringing it to you, this is another segment which I've mentioned last week, which is proudly brought to you by the Melbourne Roofing Professionals. Adam Wild, Knox Gardens Cricket Club. Touched on it last week. He's been in our cop a long time, very good bowler for a long time, and a ripper bloke as well, competitor. Like you say, Howie,
yes.
competitor.
Oh, yes.
Now, what I didn't touch on so much last week, but I will this week, is what the Melbourne Roofing Professionals actually do. So they specialise in colour bond re-roofs. So we say tiles off, colour bond on, or even your old metal roof off, colour bond on. Now, one thing Wilbur has put out to us, which I think is a ripping deal for those that jump on board and actually hit him up and go and get their roof redone, is if you mention Court in the Gully, our show, to Wilbur, he will offer free gutters for a whole house, free gutters with every re-roof he does. So don't forget that, guys. He's very competitively priced. And already, so if you can get a good price, then get your gutters for nothing. It's a win-win for everyone. Mention Court in the Gully, that's the deal he's offered. Wilbur, www.melbourneroofingprofessionals.com.au, email info@melbourneroofingprofessionals.com.au, or you can give Wilbur a buzz 0419 030 520. So thanks again, Wilbs. I love it. He's on board for the season, and great to have you in partnership with you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
All right, now Ducks for again. I don't think there was any. I don't think anyone got the pair.
If Voz has got an interesting story.
Okay,
But at our game, Tommy Nash was on a pair. He knew he was too. He ran out to the wicket. I said, "You're pretty keen for someone who's on a pair, mate." And he said, "I just want to get over and done with." I think about his third ball, he hit it straight to Sheriff, and
He hasn't taken off.
he took off. Just to get off the mark. The other bloke was stuttering. He just kept running. I don't care, mate. I'm getting off this pair. Ran the other bloke out, and I'm not joking, by probably 7 metres.
Wow.
Ran him out by
Jeez,
7
Nashy.
metres.
So he's still on
So
zero.
he's still on zero. And then he ran out his mate by 7 metres, who was fuming. And but he got away. He ended up making about 12.
Dumb fast
That's
bowler.
one for the segment,
Yeah,
boys. That's
exactly.
one for the
Fast bowler.
segment.
So this segment is working. The pressure is really on.
Awesome. Well, Nashy, I hope you learned from that, mate. Honestly, that's one thing you can't do is burn your teammates.
no.
I don't mind doing the segment, put a bit of pressure on, but don't take it out on someone else, mate. That's a bit harsh. The list is fairly long for this week's Ducks, boys. Again, I don't think there was any that actually got the pair, so we're still working towards it, but it will happen. Don't forget, get stuck into these boys I'm about to read out. Looks like it's working, guys, and you will make some of them actually choke, and I would love to read out that they actually get a pair.
I actually can't wait for
first
the day.
one.
So the first
as long
one-
as it's not me.
Actually, I actually gave him a vote in round one, boys, but Listerfield skipper Nathan Hicks on a pair, get into him, boys, and Hicksy likes to get on with it. I reckon if you
Gonna give you a chance. Might give you a chance
whoever
early.
plays this week, dig him one in short early, there might be a chance he puts it straight up. So number 2, Adam Kinnerbert from Listerfield. Then we've got Kyle Gwynn, also from Listerfield, 3 ducks for Listerfield. This one, I was surprised to actually read. I couldn't get there on the weekend, but Lukey Scanlon from Knoxfield on a pair, mate. To be honest, I've played a lot of cricket with Luca for a long time. I don't remember too many ducks Luke's actually got in that time, guys. He's exactly right. Lukey Mannion, and now Lukey must have had a score in between, I reckon.
No, carried over because he wouldn't
Oh,
have
of
batted
course,
this
of
week.
course. Carried over. So, Lukey Mannion still in a pair, stiff, buddy. And it's exactly the same with Ben Sidhu. Ben Sidhu, he's a Ben that ducked the Yorker.
Yeah, that was it.
Last week. So Ben, mate, still in a pair. Nathan Caton, Listerfield opening bowl. Oh, sorry, Nathan Caton from Eildon Park, right? Opening bowler. Justin Creed from Monbulk.
We got him this week.
Well, here we go. James Femby,
2
Monbulk.
2 in the gun.
Tommy Roloff, Upper Gully. Tom Edwards from the Basin. David Demidich. Now that was one. There was a week in between. I'm pretty sure. So Devo wasn't a pair. He's had obviously. I don't think he made too many in that middle game.
20 odd, I think, in his
20
second
odd.
game.
Oh well, that's not too bad. But Devo, back in a pair, son. Back in a pair.
Yes.
And a pleasure to have you back.
It was a pretty good catch that got him.
Now this one hurts.
And this one, like I said, we've spoken about. He's actually a very, very good bat, Josh. I've obviously played against him a number of times, and he always does very well when we play against him. But Joshy Henry, from our partners with Race with Mates, unfortunately, Joshy, mate, you're on a pair. So I didn't deliberately put some pressure on you, but guess what, son? There's pressure on you now, mate.
You get 100 in a multi next week. You do a lot.
So they're the ones from Norbury's, boys. So again, like I've said many times, get into these boys. Belgrave and their scoreboard antics. If you have to do that, guys, do it. Absolutely do it. Do it. Decoit is not quite as long. The list is actually a lot shorter, which is probably a good thing. I've got here a Jai Vanderwert. Now it might be Jai Vandervoort from Roval. Hasitha Gunawardena from Roval, and I reckon that's a king pair too, boys. I reckon he made a golden, if my cricket's correct. And Alex Dunkley from South Belgrave. So I had to get Alex Dunkley from South Belgrave at about, it was probably 11 o'clock Monday night or something, that I had to get that one off there because I didn't put their my cricket in. But it was there. And Alex, you didn't get away with it. You're on a pair as well. So like I said, guys, get into these boys. And I do wish all these guys all the best, but I do hope one of you sort of fail and I get to read a pair as well.
Very good. Oh, very good. It's just about all our segments done. We've got one more to come, but before we do that, I'd like to mention another sponsor of ours, Southeast Fitness Solutions. Michael Casement from the Knox Gardens Career Club has kindly put out one for the clubs and one for the boys and the girls. Let's not forget that. He's in Bellwood Highway, just where Scotty said, just where the old pool room used to be there in Ferntree Gully. What Case is offering is all things fitness, personal training, group training, anything you wanted to do fitness-wise, he will look after you. He's offering a 7-day free trial from anybody within the association. If you sign up after that 7-day free trial, your first payment will go back to the club of your choice. So, like I spoke about last week, if half a dozen of you join up, that's half a dozen payments straight back to the club. So to Case and Southeast Fitness Solutions, thanks, mate, for jumping on also, and do your best to get down there and support another local business from a boy within the comp. So good on to you, mate.
I'll tell you one person that might not get a free week first up, and that might be Peter Dunlop, guys, because I was noticing Case must have got dropped. He played twos this week.
He did, yeah.
So I reckon that Dunny.
How many friends Dunlop at the minute, is he?
Where'd he bat this week? Do we know where he batted this week?
No, I think he opened. and got 30 something from him. We'll get to it obviously. But
He's ruffling some feathers. So I'm going to get that thing now. I can't even say it. Rustling some feathers. The Monbulk, anyway, I'm not going to go into it, but he's upset a few people up the hill there too, Peter. So it's just.
I look forward to that story.
Strike 1, 2, and 3.
Corey Jets.
Okay, just before we get on to the local lower grade heroes, I'd also like to make mention of Josh Rickard from JR Sports Media and Design. Josh has kindly let us use his images that you'll see on the comp Facebook page for all our results. So to Joshy, keep going, mate. You're doing some great things there for the competition and also for yourself. So thank you very much, mate, and your business for allowing us to use your images. Much appreciated.
Great job.
On you, Joshy.
To Voz and his lower grade heroes.
Thank you. Look, I apologise in advance if you haven't put your scores in, so you're not going to be obviously in here, so you can complain as much as you like, as long as they're in there. I'll mention it. I must admit I stuffed up last week. Dean Palandry made his 100 in the Division 4, so I reversed that comment.
That really St John's twos, wouldn't it?
Yep. So Dino and Brad Wiseman told me he's made about 30 hundreds, not 12. So, anyway, we'll move on. The postie, Mark Stewart, 4 for 22 from Knoxfield.
What a champion post.
What a guy.
Bradley Cuts, 100 from Johnson Park, well battered. VJ Vicaria, 4 for 11 from Johnson Park. Karen Ludu from Roval, 4 for 25. Luke Atkins, 4 for 14 from Upper Ferntree Gully. Quite funny, you click on his My Cricket profile, he's actually written in there pace bowler, and he's playing Division 6, so well done, son. Good work. Jordan Gray from Listerfield, 4 for 31. Adam Priest, 5 for 17 from St John's. Very impressive figures.
Great figures.
But the last one is my player of the round. Clayton Spooner, 100 not out from Monbulk, off 24 balls.
No way.
Playing at Baines Park, the massive
there
ground
you
at
go.
Baines Park,
Says it
where
all.
you could probably get away with 6 buys there. I reckon it's that small. 13 sixes and 6 fours.
Going.
What a knock.
Yeah, I think one bloke opened the bowling at 2 overs, none for 61. They passed them, they were chasing 100 and something. They passed them in, I think, about 7 overs. So, well done. You are the player of the week. You get the honour of being player of the week. Anyone wants to sponsor this and give us a prize per week would be great. But well done to Cameron Spooner from the Monbulk Cricket Club.
Yeah, well done, Cameron.
I reckon knock out some stubby holders and maybe we can start giving them.
And it's
them
Clayton, sorry, not Cameron. But well done, great effort.
Absolutely. Steve Smith thought he was going well with his hundreds off 60 odd balls.
Yep.
Well, old Spoon has just absolutely ruined that.
Well
Well done, mate. Well done.
Very good, mate. Well, you may as well kick us off with the first game in Norm Reeves Shield. As we said, it was a interesting round, some close games, and I don't know if there was too many upsets, but over to you, Voz, for game number 1.
Yeah, this one went down to the wire. Listerfield, off their 40 overs, made 9 for 213. Anthony Brolick back in the runs. I think he had a couple of lean games, the first 2, including a duck. I think he was on a pair.
He was on a pair,
One
Brolick.
point. He made 87. And Nathan Walsh again with 65. That's why he got in the rolling team of the year there, Dane. The best of the bowlers for Knox Gardens was Scotty McInerney, 3 for 48, and Navinder Singh, 3 for 48 also. Knox Gardens made 7 for 209, losing by 4 runs. Adam Wild again amongst the runs with 49. Peter Dunlop, apparently he's gone back up the order and made 37, so he should.
Well done, Dunlop.
And Butch back in the runs again, which is fantastic, with 31. The best of the bowlers, Tim Shivers, 3 for 24, and Kyle Gwynn, 3 for 44. Again, it shows their consistency with their bowling, Listerfield. Tim Shivers, Lockie Dobson obviously out of the wickets. It got very Kinnerborough, I think, was out of the wickets too. So, and then this Kyle Gwynn steps up, takes 3 for. Timmy Shivers takes 3 for. They're very consistent across the board with the bowling, and they're going to be hard to beat Listerfield if Brolick and Walsh are making runs. I think they're going to be they're very hard to beat, and that makes Knox Gardens zipping 3 now. So last year's grand finalists and they're zipping 3. They've got a long way back from here, and unfortunately for them, they've got to play the 3 sides that they've already played again. So.
Yeah, that's really tough going, isn't it, for them? That's the way the draws worked out.
Yep.
I guess no one knows how well sides are going to go until the season actually starts, and you look at some recruits and whatnot. But they've had, we mentioned it last week, I think, 3 really tough games first up. Unfortunately, they weren't far off. They gave it a good nudge, but that's zipping 3. I think history tells you it's a long way back from zipping 3. But hopefully now those ones are out the way. They get a run of winnable games.
Yep.
And let's see when we're sitting here in 3 weeks' time. Let's see if they can be back at 3 and 3.
Yep. Back in it at Christmas.
4-run result there. I've got one that was a 6-run result. It was Eildon Park taking on Monbulk. Eildon Park off 39.1 overs were all out for 151. Ryan Williamson with 39, Matt Davey with 29, Smythe with 27, Zach Clark 20. The bowling for Monbulk, Aaron Powell took 3 for 33, Chris Martin took 2 for 31, Duncan Marr 2 for 31, and Craig Brockoff 2 for 33. Monbulk all out after 40 overs for 145, with Aaron Birmingham making 43, the great man 37. The bowling for Eildon Park, Jacob Evans, spoke about it earlier, a brilliant 5 for 26, Zach Clark 1 for 14, and Nathan Caton 1 for 28. Monbulk will be very, very upset with that. They've started off 0-2. They would have liked to have been, or 2-0. They would have liked to have been 3-0 here. They've again, speaking to Simo yesterday at the Vets, he just wants to stay up, and I said, Simo, don't worry about staying up. You're going to be more than competitive if you keep churning out results like this. So Monbulk look like they're going to be fair dinkum. They're the real deal. I would have thought, boys.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, I think at the end it was bringing Evans on in it was 23rd or 25th over, but he's obviously turned the game back through Eildon Park, and that's the reason, like I said, why I slotted in for my 2 votes. Yep. And look, that's fantastic. I mean, 5 for 26, 2 for 87, like I said, only defended 151. But obviously, he's just had a day out with the ball. And looking at the list, he got some quality bats out. He's actually done a really good job.
Yeah, from all reports, he turned the game on its head. So, and that's what they needed. Again, Jurgen Anderson didn't play for Eildon Park. So
He must be injured. What's wrong with him?
he's done his shoulder. I think
it's a big loss.
he had a shoulder injury last year.
He's a beast.
And but apparently he's back this week. But I'm not sure how well his shoulder's going to be. If he's carrying it from last year and he's already missed a couple of games this year with it, obviously nothing's happened or he's got it fixed. So I think he might be carrying that for the rest of the year. But he's certainly a big out for them. So they're going okay.
And good. I mean, Eildon Park said to get their first win of the year. They're 1-3. It's a lot better than being zipping 3 at home. Or whether they had a decent crowd there watching them, they would have no doubt celebrated pretty hard. I reckon Saturday night.
I tipped them too. So
yeah, he did too. Absolutely.
Scotty,
over to me. All right, I'm doing Upper Gully versus Furtry Gully footballers. The toss was won by Upper Gully, and by looking at this, they've actually sent footballers into bat. So they've footballers have ended up at 8 for 170 at the end of their 40 overs, and Upper Gully have come out and got to 137 in 36.3 overs. So fairly convincing win to the footballers. Footballers batting. It looks like now.
yeah.
Marithledge or something, 36. And apologies, mate. There's obviously I don't mean anything by that. It's just a pretty tough name to pronounce. Blokes chipped in. Dobinson, Story both got 20s. The skip, Colin McElroy, he got a 20 as well. And Muzza Rabani, the Zimbabwean fellow, 21 not out at the end. For Upper Gully bowling, I think it was shared around a little bit. Looks like Roleff with 3, best of the bowlers off 6 overs. De Silva with 2, and then 1 each to Ward, Williams, and Irving De Jong. Upper Gully with the bat. Again, looks like it was shared around a little bit here. We've got some Bridle chipped in with 18, Kelly the keeper with 22, De Silva with 22, and Cuts with 20. And with the ball for the footballers, looks like, again, shared around. That's what the game's about, boys, I suppose. If they shared around amongst them all themselves, it's a great job. Hunt with 2, Muzzarabani with 2 again, Betsy with 2, Benny Rawlings with 2 as well. So fairly convincing win there for the footballers, boys. Again, I don't think it's a big surprise. We all would have tipped footballers, and Upper Gully, they are still looking for that first win of the year.
They're in a bit of trouble, Upper Gully. Voz has tipped them to finish last, and they're just really battling down there at the moment. And there's some rumours, there's some rumblings down there as well. I'm not going to go into too much, but they need to fix it pretty quickly down there, not only on field but off field. They're coming from a fair way back, as we said. It's 0-3. We don't want to be 0-4, 0-5, and then it is a long way back, especially with 3 sides getting relegated this year. So, yes, it's an interesting time down there at Kings Park.
Yeah, like I say, it's a proud club, been the top grade for a long, long time. Obviously, they've got a lot of staunch.
Look, they got relegated last year, Scotty, and they've got a reprieve by staying up. And the walkout of players from that club, something's gone wrong down there.
Yeah.
Something has to have gone wrong down there for us to have been able to leave a bloke like Jay Colley down there, arguably the best player in Upper Gully's history, for us to have able to leave Jay out of that club. You're going to throw up some rubbish and it's all about cash and it's all about that sort of stuff, but it's got nothing to do with the cash. Jay just wanted out of that club, so there's something down there that's upset, and he's not the only one. There was a number of players walk out of there.
Yeah, let's hope that if they've still got, and I think they do, still got some of their staunch long-term members there that obviously got well respected by the club, that they get in and try and turn it around. It needs to turn around. Like I said, they're a proud club, been the top grade for a long, long time.
That's what the issue is that these members that you're talking about, They're not there no more, mate.
Yeah, well, maybe that is.
They're
Maybe
not
that
there.
is. And I'm only looking from the outside. I hope that they can turn it around, something internally there. Now, obviously, decisions and maybe some hard decisions have to be made to get them back to the level that I'm sure that everyone at the club wants them to be back to be at. But yeah, I mean, it's a long season when we're only three games in, 15 rounds. When you're zipping 3 and not even looking like at this stage getting over the line in one. Like I say, I can only hope that it turns around for them.
It's not a clip. It's just how we see it. Okay, so we said at the start of this whole endeavour that we were going to be honest, and that's just the way we see it. So, yeah.
Just on footballers quickly, they need to start making some decent scores. As in, a lot of their better bats are making 20s. They really need to start progressing and making biggest, like Dobinson, Story, 2 very good bats, I think. But they're always getting their 17 to 20 sort of every week. If they start progressing, they're going to be really hard to beat, I reckon, coming towards the end of the year. So.
Absolutely, and I reckon not that I watch them obviously all the time. I've seen them once, but I reckon it's got to be a mindset thing rather than you're just facing jaffers that are too good for you. Once you get to 20, you're in, you're set, you're seeing it all right. It's got to be purely a discipline and a mindset thing. So hopefully the leadership group down there get into the guys, because they've got some bats in, especially in their top 5.
Yep.
That can make some big scores and set the game up or chase down some big targets. And I hope they sort of work on it and improve that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Over to you, Voz.
Okay, the next game is the Basin versus Johnson Park. Johnson Park batted first. They got off to a pretty good start. I think they were about none for 40 off about 8 overs, with Stevie Devonish and Toby Walsmith hitting us around a little bit. We brought on Jake Sheriff, who I think Stevie Devonish hit him one bounce into the fence, about his 3rd ball. And from then on, it was the Chef show. He cleaned through the next 5, I think, as we said. Stevie Devonish out LB. And then the wheels started turning our way. I think they lost 5 for 18 off about 12 or 13 overs. So we did really well to peg them back. They ended up with 9 for 130, which is probably disappointing from our end. A, not to get them all out, and B, to let them get to 130. I mean, we were looking at we should have almost probably rolled them for under 100, to be honest. But yeah, a little Travis Strine at the end came in.
Top fan, our first top fan.
Yeah,
Did you
top
notice
fan.
that, boys?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's
On
good.
you, Travi.
On the Travi.
He came out and played his shots, and that's what he needed to do. And he made a very good 23. Stevie Devonish and Toby Waldsmith both got 20s. They struggled a little bit in that middle period there. They lost, as I said, they lost a lot of wickets, and they really found it hard to get back from there. The best of our bowlers, Jake Sheriff, 5 for 16, and one spread out throughout the thing. It was an amazing day of cricket, but I'll talk about that. Well, our fielding was brilliant. We had, I think, 4 great catches. You find hard to see anywhere. Tinner took 2 of them. Blakey Walter and Tommy Edwards they took 1 each, and they were fantastic catches. We went out to bat. Blake and I started off. I think we put on about 20 odd, and again the game turned. Mitchie Lay turned the game on its head. He had, I think, probably maybe 12, 15 runs off his first few overs. Ended up with 4 for 28, and he ripped through myself, Jakey Sheriff, Tinner. So he pretty much took out our top order. We were 5 for 50, chasing 130 in a whole lot of trouble. Our next in who came in was probably a 21-year-old kid who came up from our 3s.
You were saying he's never even played 2s.
He's never even played 2s.
Wow.
So he came up from our 3s.
Great effort.
We played him purely as a fieldsman. He's a very good fielder, and he probably batted higher than we thought he was going to bat. But to Blakey's credit, he stuck with him and threw him out there at 7. And to be honest, he looked better than probably all of us did. He had a great technique. He showed that he can, and I spoke to him after the game. I said, "Now this is what you should be doing in the lower grades. You should be," and to be honest, I don't think he's even made like any big scores in the lower grades. He just he came in, he made 20 off about 70 balls, and just looked brilliant the whole way through. Him and Blakey worked together as a pair. They put on, I think, 60 before Liam Pollard went out. So Liam made 20 and saved us the game, and he was voted our club's player of the round, to be honest. And
Well done, Liam. That's amazing, mate. Good job.
yeah,
Good
so
job.
he did a great job making 20. But Blakey again, 67 not out,
A shame.
held the innings together. It just proves that he, to be honest, I don't think there's anyone that should get him out. I mean, he's that good. he adapted to the situation. He didn't try and go, you know what, I've got to start playing my shots here. He worked in well with Liam, and as I said, they made a 60-run partnership, did the right thing, and then once Liam went out, he stood it up. He just went bang, bang, and it's game over. So well done to Blakey. The best of the bowls, obviously, Mitchie laid 4 for 28. He was sensational. And again, their fielding was elite. Little Petrie behind the stumps took 2 blinders. It was just one of those days. The fielding was spot on. I don't think any sides dropped catches. Actually, I dropped one. That was it was a tough one.
Took a couple of holding though, mate.
I took a couple early with Sheffer in first slip, but yeah, the fielding from both sides was elite, and it certainly wasn't an easy win from our end, that's for sure.
Very good. Well, the points are there though. Points are there, and like Boz touched on, I think a lot of sides, us in particular, are just focusing on the fielding. If you're the best fielding side in the comp this year in the short form, boys, it's going to take you a long way to putting you in the top 5, if not winning it. So, well done to your boys. Just as you say, the premiership favourites just cruising along nicely. So I've got the next game: Ferntree Gully versus Upwey Tacoma. Ferntree Gully batting first off their 40 overs, 8 for 171, with Paul Jeffermenko making 39. Skipper Jason Kilby, 37. Patrick Masterton, 27. Bowling for Upwey, Liam Dunning, 2 for 13. Jackson Waters, 2 for 28. The 12th man in the team of the year, Cameron Wheeler, 2 for 32.
Lucky to be there.
In reply, Upwey Tacoma off 38.5 overs, past Ferntree Gully, 7 wickets down, with Jackson Waters making 50, Andrew Evans 31, and that 12th man again, Cameron Wheeler, making 25. The bowling for Ferntree Gully, Jesse Christensen took 2 for 33, Jake Evans 2 for 35. This one's interesting, boys. Mark Butters, they tell me his first game for Ferntree Gully. Cost Harry Brown his spot in the ones, by the way, but Butsy come down from Wodonga, and they said that the old pitch is back, lads. The old pitch is doing this one.
Oh, really?
So I'm not sure whether they just laid one backwards for this week just because Butsy was coming down, but it's great to have the great man Mark Butters back. Apparently bowled beautifully, 1 for 14. So in the end, Upwey win by 3 wickets, and look, that 38.5 overs, Ferntree Gully took them right to the wire there. So it was a good, hard-fought win. Yeah, so that's all I can really say about that one.
Rolling on, aren't they? The Upwey boys rolling on. They're that's a 3-wicket win, but I don't think you're ever in any real trouble.
Well, they said no. They said no, but I think early doors it was slow going. It was that big ground at the gully. So, I mean, the boys seemed reasonably comfortable and confident in where they were at, but it nearly got down to the last over. So it is what it is. You just win. If you've got to win ugly, you win ugly.
I think it's great that Upwey are overconfident, really confident about their game, and thought that they won pretty easy and had it in the bag. That's good. That's the way they play their cricket. They're a very confident side. They back their own ability, and
next game.
They're happy. They're obviously happy with mediocrity too, making 25. You should be in the team of the year with 25. I'm pretty happy with 25 myself. So if you're happy with 25,
next game.
All right, wow. It's just hard to back up after that. But anyway, on next game, Belgrade versus Knoxfield. Unfortunately, I couldn't get down there this week. I had a family function on, and once I saw the scores, I'm very disappointed I didn't get down there to watch. Belgrave won the toss, I believe, batted first, ended up 4 for 184 after their allotted overs. Jared McPhee bounced back 51 not outs. Jordan King made a welcome pole 49, and Brun, the skipper, obviously opened the batting 39. For Knoxfield with the ball, Trent Atkinson, Taco 2 for 34. Quiggs with 1 for 20, and Knoxfield skipper Josh Linder with 1 for 38. So 4 for 184, that's the competitive total. You would think it's game on with that on the board. I'm sure Belgrave would have been reasonably confident in their little chat before going out to try and defend it. And then, and so they should have been at the very start anyway, boys. Knoxfield ended up 2, I think they were 2 for 13 at one stage. Both Lukey Scanlon, as we read out, in on a pair, made a duck. Matty Plum, not too many at all. Clint Buckland, like I said, put his hand up to open the batting, and then Danny Danger come out to bat with Clint, and they've gone wiggity whack whack whack, boys. They've put on a 174 run partnership. with Bucko ending up, as we said, in a well-compiled, amazing 101 not out. First ton for the Knights, backing up. It's amazing effort. And Danny Bayer, also bouncing back after a slow start in the first 2 rounds. 73 not out. I'm sure Danger would have smacked him around as well. He hits the ball very hard, Danger, and he would have been wrapped with that result. So in the end, boys, a comfortable 8-wicket win to my boys. And after a very, very disappointing batting performance, in particular in round 1, the boys are back on track with 2 good wins.
Just rolling along there well. And like we spoke about Bucko, he'd be happy to get that off his back, getting the score early in the season. And the same with Danger. Like, I mean, he's come back from Upper Furchy Gully. There's another player we talk about that's departed Upper Furchy Gully, and he'd be looking for a score early, and lots of ability, Danger, and it's good to see by round 3 that both these boys have got going. So, right under the Knights.
Well, boys, I've actually put my Knights snapback on in dedication for the boys' good win. So I've decided to roll this out for you, lads, this week.
He's got a rare pill, Danger, in he at the moment. Is he got
yeah, well, that's one thing.
Shocking head.
Have you seen Danger's haircut at the moment?
There's a couple of weird ones.
He's got the fully shaved scone with just a little tuft of hair sticking out the back. We might be able to see if Poves can actually get a Poves, if you can get a little a photo of it up, just so people can see it. It's a roof scone, but it's one that actually suits Danger.
Shane Luck was here watching me on Saturday, and he revealed a scone that's just to be. He's not going much better.
Not very good. No, it's pretty ordinary.
Stephen Devonish has got a real weird hairstyle at the minute too. So Stephen, he's up here Saturday night cutting a rug here on Saturday night. He looked a little bit like what's his name? That rapper.
Slim Shady.
Yeah, the white hair.
Eminem.
So yeah, he looked very much like him.
No, he was, it's pretty ordinary.
Yeah,
but then again, I got no hair, so I can't really make any judgment on anyone there.
Over to the Decoit results, boys. Head us off, Scotty.
Yes, I got Knox Gardens versus South Belgrave. South Belgrave made 6 for 160 off 37 overs. Let's go. Sorry. Not in order. South Belgrave making Ollie De Silva with 50 not out. Mark Baker on 40. So they are their 2 main stalwarts there. With the ball for Eildon Park. Knox Gardens. Nixon Adcock 2 for 35. Michael Casement, one of our major sponsors, or one of our sponsors, with 2 for 30 after being dropped. I don't think he'd be happy with that. And Youngie with 2 for 48. You'd think that probably wasn't enough, but Knox Gardens were all out for 156 in reply, with Dylan Wild making 36 and Jay Wagner 27. The best of the bowlers was Big Todd Burley, 3 for 37.
Toddy.
And Jordan McDermott, their skipper, taking 2 for 25. So that was another win that I predicted, South Belgrave getting up over Knox Gardens. They've lost 2 back-to-back now.
Only won the 1 game. Yeah. Our premiership favourites, our premiership predictor is. They need to get going as well.
I actually think that, which we'll probably find out, but St John's have probably blown everyone away at the moment. I think they're the only undefeated.
Absolutely.
Game clear. So,
maybe the Knox Gardens boys are after our big pump up there, licking themselves a little bit, lads, and it's come back to bite them in the backside. Who knows?
Yeah, so they're going to both teams. Both of these teams really need to lift if they're going to. Figure come final time. I know there's only 6 teams in it.
Well, they're in the fall with 1 game.
Yeah, you want to be trying to get up there in that top 2 position, I reckon. But anyway, good win to South Belgrave in the end.
Yep. Rightio, I've got Mountain Gate and Alinda. The toss was won by Mountain Gate, and Mountain Gate batted first, making 6 for 145, with Mitchy Goddard making 53. Luke Turner 28 and Pete Castledine also 28. The bowling for Alinda, there was just a roll of 1 fers. You can see that on the screen there. Humphreys, Langer, Oates, Raisbeck, Hyatt and Kamangozi, all with 1. In response, Alinda made 5 for 146 off 37 overs. The batting for Alinda, Michael Hyatt with 40, Josh Langer with 33, Matthew Oates with 24. The bowling for Mountain Gate, Lukey Turner 2 for 36, Johnny Razakis, sounds like a football name. Johnny Razakis. 2 for 15, and Mitchie Goddard 1 for 24. My boys up there in the hills, lads, they're only one game off top. They're sitting third. They're absolutely going beautifully here, and on the back of it, Mountain Gate, winless. What's happening down there? What's happening down there, lads? I was very critical of them last year, and look, they've just started off. It's been stinking down there at the minute for them, so they need to find something and find it fast.
Yeah, I tipped them to win this week. I thought they were a big chance to win. But did we find out what happened to Kevy Akdorf?
No, I didn't find out.
I thought he wasn't playing this week.
He
So
wasn't
he was
inside,
injured, or
so maybe it was an injury.
might have been an injury. But he certainly helps them with his slow bowling. But it was good to see. At least they're starting to get a little bit. I mean, Mitchie's got some runs again, but Lukey Turner got in the game at 20 odd and 2 for. I mean, they're the two keys. Those two really. And Johnny Rozakis has been pretty consistent this year, but they need to. These boys need to keep. Unfortunately, got to grab the club on their shoulders and take them forward. Yeah. And they can't afford a bad week. These players, and I know it's a big call, but they need to carry the club on their shoulders and stand up and be counted every week. So.
Yeah, they'd be disappointed with that down, especially experienced blokes. Johnny Rozakis been around Mountain Gate a long time. Obviously, Mitchie Goddard been a very good player for him for a long time, and Lukey Turner now. I think he's third year down there. He's certainly, and he's obviously captain of the club, leader of the club. These boys will be very disappointed with the start that they've had, and I'm sure. I think we're all surprised, guys, that they're zipping 3.
I'm not.
No.
I had him finishing in the 4. I had him.
Yeah,
I
would
pretty comfortably.
I would have penciled them in the 400% as well. So hopefully again it turns around for them. They've got obviously a fair bit to do with it looks like Mitchie, especially with the bat, is sort of only one flying the flag for the club he's been a part of since he was a junior. So hopefully it turns around for him big time.
Last one, Scotty.
Last one, St John's v Roval. St John's, they've won the toss, decided to have a bat. Ended up all out for 189. Looks like with only a ball left to go in the allotted overs. Changa 28, Ferguson at 28. Looks like there's a chipping around. Craigie, Hards 20, 25, 23.
Mark Hardy.
So they've again 189. It's obviously a little bit less than what they've scored in the first 2 games, but as it proves, there was certainly enough for them to get over the line against Roval, who were all out for 131 in the 34th over. Fairly convincing win again for the Saints. They keep on rolling on. Wickets for Roval. Gunawardena, Chanaka, 2 for 31, and looks like Alex Walker, best of the bowls with 3 for 35. For the bat width for Roval, looks like Walker 20, Pereira, Motto 27.
Got his own Facebook fan club page for those that are interested in it, lads. Sure. Wow. Darren, sort this out, Darren.
And talking about Darren, the great man, 17 not out off 22 balls. Come out and looks like he's clubbed a few 4s there at the end. For the Saints with the ball, Wilson, best of the bowls with 3 for 38. Grenda 2 for 15. And it looks like Craigie, now obviously it's right at the end there, but it looks like he's chipped in for the last 2 maybe, 2 for none off 0.3 off 3 balls. So well done. So that's a great way to finish a fantastic win for the Saints for the day. They keep rolling on, boys, the Saints.
Yeah, they're going pretty well, I think. And
good things happening down there, I think.
Roval is struggling, and they need to. I mean, I'll go through and have a look at all their grades, and that they really need to look at their 2s. They've got a couple of young kids in there, the Hill brothers, both Cam and James.
Don't worry about that. I've played against them.
They both made 50s in the 2, batting together. I think it's the first time I believe that they've ever batted together, but. Yeah, it's probably time they need to start sort of looking at these younger kids and giving them a crack to see if they're up to it or not.
Good bloodlines.
I'm pretty sure it's Cameron, but he was out the back here at Upway last week, I think it was, and he's bowling with a hat and sunglasses on.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Are they old enough to pay fines yet, the Hill boys? Because I reckon at Knoxfield that's a definite fine.
They're 16 and 17, so
wait till they turn 18.
That's old enough as far as I'm concerned when it comes to fines. But yeah, they're obviously, if they play like their old man, they're going to be pretty good cricketers in the future. So hopefully Roval will sort of start looking to that way and start blooding a couple of these kids.
Definitely.
Right, boys, we'll just quickly run through the ladders and then next week games. So the Norm Reeve Shield, the Premiership favourites, Basin on top with 18, Upway 18, Listerfield 18, followed by Monbulk, Footballers and Knoxfield all on 12. Johnson Park, Eildon Park and the Footballers on 6, and yet to open the account is Knox Gardens, Upper Ferntree Gully and Belgrave bringing up the rear there. The Decoit Shield ladder reads St John's Tacoma on top of Game Clear on 18, South Belgrave and Olinda on 12, Knox Gardens, Roval on 6, and Mountain Gate winless to date. So that's how the ladder sits, boys. Quickly for next week's games, we'll rip through these. Probably gone a little bit longer than usual, but that's okay. Ferntree Gully Footballers v Listerfield. Scott, Vozzo.
Listerfield for me.
Yeah, I'll take Listerfield as well.
I'm on the Beaver as well.
Knoxfield v Ferntree Gully.
I'm thinking Ferntree Gully here.
I'm
Get
going
one
for
back.
Knoxfield.
I'm going Knoxfield with Trent Atkinson nicking Joshy Henry out to
first
bring up
pair.
that first pair.
Guilty.
Sorry, Joshy. Sorry, mate.
Upway v Eildon Park.
Upway outright
Yep.
in a one day.
Johnson, I'll go the Upway as well.
I'll go the Tigers.
Johnson Park v Belgrave.
Jeez, I tell you what, I'm actually gonna pick Belgrave to get their first win here.
I'm not. Johnson Park.
No, I'm going to go Johnson Park as well. From what you said, Voz, you obviously you won reasonably comfortably, but you said it came down sort of, or wasn't that comfortably, sorry.
No, they bowled well early.
And if they field and do that again, well, then there's no reason why they can't get over the line.
Yep.
Monbulk versus Basin.
Well, Basin in a
Up the
tight
hill.
one for me.
Yeah, I'll go with the Basin as well. How can you not?
Yeah, it's their top side. How can go past them?
And Knox Gardens to play up at Ferntree Gully.
Knox Gardens to bring up their first win.
Ooh. Yes, I'll be the same.
Yeah, I'll Knox Gardens to get on the board.
To Decoit Shield, South Belgrave v St John's.
St John's, I think they're going to keep going.
Yep, same with me.
Yep, I'm on the Saints.
Roval v Mountain Gate. Gee whiz.
I'm going Mountain Gate here. They're going to bring up their first win. They're going to prove me right here, and they're going to start. Their season starts now. The Gators.
I'd rather not pick either, so over to you, Scott.
I'm going to go Mountain Gate as well. I think I tipped them last week. I'm going to stay on.
And Olinda, Knox Gardens.
Knox Gardens.
Okay, I'm going with Olinda. I'm not getting off them, boys.
Yeah, I might go Olinda as well this week. They've certainly given me a reason to start backing them. The boys are off to a good start, so why not?
Hopefully
Absolutely.
next week you'll update the tipping so we know where we're at, mate.
Yeah, I know.
That
Well,
was
it's
one
still-
thing you
it's-
had to do, and you had one job.
Rightio, well, leave it with me, boys. Leave it with me. That wraps us up. So to the Eastwood Golf Club, PJD Building, Upali's, and Race with Mates in particular, thank you very much for your generous support. To you boys, thanks again. Another cracking week. Can't wait for round. What are we up to? Four. Round 4. So we'll see how we go. See you next week at 7 o'clock. Thanks for having us.
Good luck on the weekend, boys.
Go lads, go well.